Hi students, today let us discuss the topic on emergence of software engineering. Before going into the topic, let us understand the engineering approach of the software. It's a fact that software engineering techniques have been evolved over many years in the past. This evolution results to the series of innovations and accumulation of experience about writing good quality of the programs. Now let us briefly examine only a few of these innovations and the programming experiences which contributed to the development of software engineering discipline. The subconcept under the considered topic is early computer programming. In the previous days, we need to write programs or the number of instructions mentioned in any program as per the problem that is taken in order to get the solution for it, where we used to write number of hundreds of lines of code in order to execute the program to have a better solution. Later we used to write the assembly code using the mnemonics, which will reduce the length of the size of the programs. Every programmer developed his own individualistic style of writing programs according to his guess, and also he used to follow an ad hoc style where writing different programs are considered irrespective of any particular procedure. In simple words, programmers wrote programs without formulating any proper solution strategy, plan, or design a jump to the terminal and start coding immediately on hearing out the problem. They then went on fixing any problem that they have observed until they had a program that worked reasonably well. We have already designated this style of programming as the build and fix or the exploratory programming style. The next concept is high level language programming. As we all know that we used to follow high level language programs in order to have the faster computation in resolving the given problem. Computers became faster with the introduction of semiconductor technology in the early 1960s. As the time passed away, high level languages such as ALGOL, COBOL, Fortran were introduced, which reduces the effort required to develop software and helped programmers to write large programs. We have a question why we need to spend or make such an effort in order to develop the software. Also, the machine details such as the flags, registers, etc., related to the machine are abstracted from the programmer. However, programmers were still using the exploratory style of software development. Typical programs were limited to sizes of around a few thousands of lines of source code. The next concept is control flow based design. In order to cope up with the given problem, experienced programmers advised other programmers to pay particular attention to the design of the program's control flow structure. A program's control flow structure indicates the sequence in which the program's instructions are to be executed. In order to help or develop programs having good control flow structures, for that reason, the flowcharting technique was being developed. Even today, the flowcharting technique is being used to represent and design algorithms, though the popularity of flowcharting represent and design programs has went to a great extent due to the emergence of more advanced techniques. It means if we consider the C programming language, you used to just simply first consider the sequential step of instructions, and you used to write algorithms related to the given problem. Later, as per the instructions that are defined in the algorithm, depending upon those instructions, the diagrams are represented having unique identification with the symbols represented in the flowchart design, so that any individual can easily identify the flowchart technique and the flow between the several instructions that are being defined in the algorithm is made, such that the writing of instructions, the set of instructions is very easy in order to solve the considered problem depending upon the flowchart. So likewise, we used to follow the flowchart technique even today. The flowchart representation for the two program segments is shown in the figure. An example is considered which explains the fact that if the flowchart representation is simple, then the corresponding code should be simple. You can draw the flowchart representation of several other problems also to convince yourself that a program with complex flowchart representation is indeed more difficult to understand and also maintain. The A figure represents an example of unstructured program where there are many indications of go-to statements in line number 3, 5, 6, 8, so on. When we are comparing the length of the program of figure A, which is represented as unstructured program, with the figure B, the figure B is the corresponding structured program having very limited number of instructions. So there is no jumping between the statements as the limited number of instructions are present in the structured program of figure B. Whereas in figure A we have 10 instructions defined, and in figure B only 4 instructions are defined. The main reason behind complexity is that normally one understands a program by tracing its execution sequence or statement sequence to understand how the output is to be produced from the given input values. Alternatively, we may start with the input data and check by running through the program how each statement processes or transforms the input data until the output is being produced. If we consider an example for the program that we have already taken, depending upon the unstructured and structured way of representation of programs, we have to understand the execution of the program along the paths. The paths are represented in several ways with the help of a diagram where we will be visiting several ways in order to get or retrieve the solution for the given problem. It is therefore evident that a program having a messy flowchart representation would indeed be difficult to understand and also debug. If we consider the control flow graphs of the two programs that are represented for figure A and B, there are many paths that are identified in unstructured program represented with the figure A. The path from 1 to 10, if we want to traverse, then we need to go in a particular directed path, that is from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 7, 7 to 8 and 8 to 10. If we choose another path, we can consider for the same unstructured program from 1 to 10 the path as 1 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 9 and 9 to 10. If we need to consider the other path, that is already we have defined two paths. The third path can also be represented from 1 to 10. Hope you can identify the third path also from 1 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 7, 7 to 8 and 8 to 10. From 1 to 10, we need to visit several paths in order to have the solution for the given problem. So the statements, depending upon the statements, we can easily follow the path. There are number of paths related to a problem solution, wherein we need to identify the best path among them. If we consider the structured program of figure B, then there are only 4 statements that we have observed in the previous slides. So the paths are 1 to 2 and 2 to 4, where we need to go from 1 to 4. Similar way, the other path is 1 to 3 and 3 to 4. Other than this, there are no other paths in order to travel from 1 to 4, because it contains only limited number of instructions. Now let us consider the control flow graph of a program having too many go-to statements. If we consider a program which contains hundreds of go-to statements, then our control flow graph represents as shown in the right side of the figure separately, which is indicating number of loops from one set of path to other set of path. It looks like clumsy and it is very difficult and impossible to identify the sequential flow of the path in order to control the flow of statements. So let us understand our go-to statements, the culprits. A programmer trying to understand a program would have to be mentally tracing the programming instructions and also understand the processing that takes place along all the paths of the program in order to make the program understand and also debug, which will be complicated depending upon the number of instructions that is being defined. Soon it became widely accepted that good programs should have very simple control structures. It is possible to distinguish good programs from bad programs by just visually examining their flowchart representations, and hence the use of flowcharts to design good control flow structures of programs became widespread. Now let us know the concept of structured programming, which is always represented as a logical extension. Everyone accepts that it is possible to solve any programming problem without using go-to statements also, and that indiscriminate use of go-to statements should be avoided in order to reduce the complexity between the programs. This formed the basis of structured programming methodology. A program is called structured when it uses only the sequence, iteration, and selection types of control structures and is modular. The structured programs avoid unstructured control flows by restricting the use of go-to statements. Hence, structured programming is being implemented if the programming language being used supports single entry, single exit program constructs such as if then else statements, do while statements, etc. Hence, an important feature of structured programs is the design of good control structures. Now, let us answer to a query. What are the main advantages of writing structured programs compared to the unstructured ones? Programmers commit very less number of errors while using structured programming like if then else, do while statements when compared with test and branch codes constructs. Besides being less error prone, structured programs are normally more readable, easier to maintain, and require very less effort in order to develop comparing with the unstructured programs. The virtues of structured programming became widely accepted, and the structured programming concepts are being even used today. Very soon, several languages such as Modula, C, Pascal, etc. became available, which were specifically designed to support structured programming. These programming languages facilitated writing modular programs and the programs having good control structures. Whenever we are considering a large program, the large program is divided into number of subprograms, and every subprogram is represented as a module. Whenever the module is created and developed, all the different modules that were being divided are integrated in order to get the solution for the considered problem. In that way, we can explain this concept. So, the focus shifted from designing good control structures to designing good data structures for program. Now, let us understand the next concept, that is data structure oriented design. Using data structure oriented design techniques, first a program's data structures are to be designed. The code structure is designed based upon the data structure. In the next step, the program design is derived from the data structure. An example of data structure design technique is Jackson Structured Programming, abbreviated as JSP. This technique is being developed by Michael Jackson in 1975. In this methodology, a program's data structure is first designed using the notations for sequence, selection, and iteration. In this methodology, we will be provided an interesting technique in order to derive the program structure from its data structure representation. For example, if you want to store a value of any variable in any type of programming, you will be considering a variable's data type first. You will be declaring or initializing the data type of the variable and also the value to it, right? In the same way, we will be having the data structure that is being depending upon the coding that we are about to write for any program. So whenever we are designing the code, it must be depending upon the data structure, as a variable containing a value depends upon the variable data type. In the same way, the data, whenever the instruction is being designed, the instruction depends upon the data structure that we are considering. Hope you all got the point. Thank you, one and all. If you have any sort of queries, then let us interact with each other. Just type in the chat box so that you can get it cleared. Thank you, one and all.